This is Michael Dawes, Director of Public Relations at Barton Community College, and you're tuned into Cougar Paws on KVGB 1590 AM. Today we're talking with Darnell Holliperic, Executive Director of Institutional Advancement at Barton, and joining her are Academic Enrichment Fund Campaign Honorary Co-Chairs Larry and Kathy Schugart. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
And the Foundation's annual AEF campaign is going to be held this month. Larry, tell us what that entails.
First of all, I really appreciate the fact that Darnell contacted us a few weeks ago and asked Kathy and I if we would be willing to do what we are ensuing to do here, and that is to raise money for our college and the students and to enrich some of the programs out here. The Academic Enrichment Fund Campaign is an annual campaign by which money is raised by our community citizens, not only in Great Bend and Barton County, but some of those certainly from the smaller communities around and elsewhere. And it's also, the funds are used to, I guess, better or enrich the ongoing programs that have already been started here at Barton. And to us, that's what it's all about. It means good education for our citizenry, our children, our grandchildren, and I just think it's great. I might mention, Kathy and I will be sending out a letter to those who have given before and to some other people who we've added to the list, and that letter will be going out, as I understand, in probably 2 or 3 weeks. And so look in your mailbox, and it's a great time to take a look and be willing to donate back to the community.
The Schugarts are longtime community members, and in fact, Larry, you were associated with Landmark National Bank and probably still are. For many, many years. Kathy, you worked in retail.
Correct.
And I know you guys saw the benefits of the college. Now I want to say this going forward, I do owe Larry an apology because last year we celebrated our 40th anniversary, and I did not realize that Larry was one of the originals, and in fact one of the person that went forward to try and establish the Cougar Booster Club, which everybody knows has come forward and been a very successful endeavor. So Larry, you've had a lot of long-standing ties with the college, and now you've supported academics, you've supported athletics, but tell us about your time in that period of time when you were helping to bring the Cougar Booster Club up and running.
The first basketball coach that was hired by Dr. Robinson would have been Dick Nagy, and many of the older people in the community would remember Dick. He was very well liked, although he was a very volatile coach. I had the privilege of knowing Dick early on. We played town team basketball together. We traveled all over Kansas playing teams, and right frankly had some pretty good basketball teams. One day he said, Larry, I'd certainly like to get to the point to where we had a lot of enthusiasm at the ball games, and I think it would be great if we could have a booster club and we could have regular meetings where the members could come and so forth. So I called up a few of what I would call people who were very interested in the basketball program at that time, not to take a lot of time mentioning them, but people will remember Bob Ryder, Archie Lindholm, Orville Huss, who was chamber president at the time, Bud Bowman, Jerry Skeels, Dave Harvey, who was with Marlette Coach, and myself met down at that time, People's Savings Loan Association, which was the company that I worked for and am still associated with, although now it's called Landmark National Bank. And during that meeting, we talked about how we could best support the athletic program, and I want to make sure that people do understand that what we're talking about today has nothing to do with the booster club for the basketball team, but it is a way that we originally got involved with the community college. Archie Lindholm was asked to be the first president. It was a short year, 6 months. I became the first full-year president, and I'm happy to say that one of the things we accomplished in the very first year at the direction of, at that time, Dick Nagy, was to see that a realtor by the name of Gladys Gardner, we located the house. She had a sign in front. We asked her if she would consider buying it and leasing it to the Booster Club. And the Booster Club, through its membership, kept that house open for several years for our athletes to live together. That was one of his wishes, to make a family out of the basketball players.
Okay. And I guess on a personal note, Kathy, you guys actually, all 4 of your children went through Barton, so you've got firsthand knowledge about how we did as an education institution. Do you want to speak about how that worked out for them?
Well, I will just say that yes, we were fortunate enough. Larry and I actually are from Great Bend, born and raised in Great Bend, and married in Great Bend, and had 2 daughters and 2 sons. All 4 attended Barton County. Our youngest one was fortunate enough to get a baseball scholarship. But all of our children graduated from a 4-year college, and we very much appreciated the fact that they were able to start their college education at Barton County, live at home, get 1 more year maturity under them so they could face the world on their own. And today we have 4 wonderful adult children with their own families.
I'm your host, Michael Dawes, and we're discussing the college's Academic Enrichment Fund Campaign with Darnell Holoparik and this year's 2 honorary co-chairs, Kathy and Larry Schugart. Larry, you were tapped into the community at the time when the college was being thought about as a concept and then became a reality. And I know you being in the banking field, the bank industry was very pro-college. And you've seen that developed, you've seen the message come through, the college actually be developed and see it happen. But what about it back then made bankers feel like this was the right move economically for the community?
There is no question that the bankers in the county, and particularly in Great Bend, were really glad to see the community college come to this area. The bankers, a lot of times people think bankers don't get along. I mean, the bankers were very helpful in each and every bank in the area to see that the college could come to Barton County and to Great Bend. As we see it, if you look back over the years, I'm thinking of our own institution. I can't tell you how many people that we hired over the years that were students first and then came on board with us working full-time somewhere later on. Right now, today, we have a very sharp little gal. Her name's Becca. I won't even mention her last name. She'd be embarrassed. But Becca is about she's a very bright student. I think the last she told me she was about a 4.3. I come in and I always call her, how's a 4.6 doing today? And I keep raising that number. But it is. We're very, very fortunate to have students that we can draw from as part-timers into the banking world today. And Mike, again, I want to stress, the banks have, in this particular thing, banks don't always agree on everything, but they certainly have always agreed about Barton County Community College.
Okay. And Darnell, we've kind of left you out of the fray here, so we're going to get you involved. But you look at this fund drive, and it's annual, and it happens from March 1st, March 31st. And people might start to sound old hat, but I've been doing some radio promos with some students, and I know, for instance, one in particular is a first generation, and she wouldn't have been able to go to college without this scholarship. So it's important. Many people just give because they know it's that time of the year. But try and sway those others to get off the schneid, and we'll get them to write that check and to contribute to this campaign.
Well, as the Schugarts have said, how important education is, and Mike, we found out the last couple of 3 years, we're not only training the traditional students, we're training the non-traditional students. There are many folks that have lost their job, and they're looking up saying, what do I do now? And we've been able to come forward and say, hey, we can give you financial assistance, come out here and get retrained and get back into the workforce. So this time of the year, every year, we will have a mail campaign, and Larry alluded to the fact that they're going to send a letter out asking their friends and coworkers to think about starting a scholarship. But we have many, many businesses and individuals that this is the time of the year that this letter reminds them that they need to think about re-giving, or some of them add to their endowments, and they're always thinking about how can I help those students that go to Barton Community College. Now you see people more so even, this is truly a recruitment tool. People are really taking a different look of where they're going to educate their children. So the parents are involved, and some of those parents realize and grandparents realize that they've got to help other students like their students were helped. So every year we make it fun. We will always get someone as a chair of this mail campaign, and they do the asking. They tell us how they would like to see the scholarships increase, and so we always pick chairs, and we do appreciate the Schugarts coming for us because we know they've been supporters of the college for a long time in many different aspects. But then we also pick a theme, and this year we picked, the committee picked many dreams and one vision. And if you really stop and think about that if you take 10 students and put them in a room, every one of them have a different reason they are here, a different reason of what they want to happen when they're at Barton and for the future of their lives and to continue their lives. But it's one vision. We're here to educate them, and whatever they want to do and pursue, if they have the willingness to come here, we have the willingness to teach and train so they can better themselves. But to do that, we do need funds, and so a lot of our businesses donate this month of March. We've set our goal for $40,000 this year. We plan on making that goal and even more. We sure won't stop taking the funds in if somebody wants to give us money. But this is a good time for me to be able to visit with people that maybe haven't given in the past. They can call me. I'd love to tell them how, how they can help. They get to set the criteria. If they're really oriented in the medical field, then we'll set up a scholarship for the medical field. But also, sometimes people feel like they have to give big money, and I want my audience to know that every $20 can help. We can put a lot of $20 together and make a nice scholarship for one of our students.
Darnell, you got everybody fired up about donating in the month of March, so let's tell them how they can do that. There's a couple of ways.
Okay, well, you know, Mike, I said the theme was many dreams and one vision. Well, one vision that Darnell had was to be able to have people donate online. Now, for these young kids, that's easy. I mean, they can go out there and make this computer work, but we are really proud to think that now anyone can be sitting in their own home, and at midnight, they get the urge to donate to Barton Community College. They can do that. If they go to the website bartonccfoundation.org, it will just lead them through. They can say how they want the money spent, if they want it for the music department or for the library or whatever. We've got it all lined up, and then we get notified. So they can do that, or they can call me at 620-792-9367. Or, I'm always out and around and about. All they have to do is contact me. But Larry and Kathy's letter is going to also tell them how they can get a hold of us. But like I said before, and I do get fired up because I have a passion for our students and what we are able to give them. But if they want to give anything, this is the time of the year to decide to do that. They can call or just send us a check, and we will be very good stewards of their funds, and we'll make sure the students can utilize their financial assistance.
And Kathy, you hit on something in one of the earlier segments, and you know, obviously your kids, 4 of them came through, they're up, they're out, and it would seem, okay, your use of the college is done, but not that way, because you're able to use the gallery, you go to the musicals and the plays and what have you. We have other functions here that go on. You're involved with Silver Cougar Club when you can find the time to do that. So there's plenty of opportunities to keep drawing the community back to this college that really is the community's college. How have you found that experience to be? I know you've been involved with many of these things, but for a lot of years it's been a cultural outlet for you.
Well, we have not been participants in anything, but we have noticed that there are many talented people in our community that have been definitely willing with their time to create this atmosphere that all of us that like to just still go and enjoy, we're able to sit back and attend, and it's very much appreciated. We are members of the Silver Cougars and have attended some functions, but there's just a lot going on in Great Bend, and it's nice to have this as an option.
Okay.
Maybe I should have got Kathy dancing with the Barton Stars. Then she wouldn't feel bad that she hasn't been an actor or a singer.
Well,
next year maybe.
I have to say, and I told Erin Renard this because she and Vern Freiberger, but you know, and I've been to my share of plays and musicals, but last year's Beauty and the Beast was just phenomenal, unbelievable that a community this size and with that kind of talent in this community, it just blew you away. Without this college being here, we couldn't have a production to that level. It was just unbelievable. It was one of the proudest moments.
We saw that in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. We saw that very play in Atlanta, and it was a very good comparison. Great Bend did wonderful.
Yeah, and obviously there were community members, a lot of Barton students involved, and obviously Barton instructors. So it was really a proud moment for a lot of people, even if you didn't have anything to do with it and were just sitting there in the audience. So,
right.
Well, Mike, Larry, and Kathy love the Safer Art Gallery also, and right now we have an exhibit that truly you would go to New York to see. David Barnes has come in and just really stepped up and really has some good exhibits. But I've seen them there. They love to come and look and enjoy and bring their family and friends out. So, I mean, they've been involved in many ways. They helped us renovate the Learning Resource Center. I'd gone to Larry and Kathy and asked them if they felt like they could help us, because that was such an important part of our campus and benefits the students so much. And so they were one of our donors for that too. So they have many, many times come forward and helped Barton Community College. If you want to say their kids went there and their money's been here too.
And you since we are on the arts, and we've got this renovation project that we're starting to build for, and what have you, and you said if people donate to the campaign, they can actually specify where they want their money to go for scholarships and what have you. So that is an option as well, correct?
Yes, definitely. I mean, the thing of it is, we are here to help the college, but we're also here to let the donors give where they want to and feel good to give. So I'm always willing to talk and say, hey, if we can help you with your philanthropic ideas, we would love to do that. And most people don't realize how many different ways they can help the college. So it's always nice to have that one-on-one conversation.
Okay. And Larry, I'm going to go back to you, because when those initial days and they were wondering if they were going to have 500 students out here, and now you look at those numbers, and depending on how you measure it, it's 5,000 or 15,000 approximately enrollments, but 6,500 head count. When you look at that and see all the programs and where Barton is now, does it make you look in awe of the fact that we've grown from that to this today?
It just, it blows my mind, Mike. It really does. Darnell and Kathy and I visited about this the other day when we were doing some planning, and when she was giving us some of these numbers, I just couldn't believe where we were today, how far we've come from a school out here on the hill, you know, with mainly students from around the area the first year, second year, and to where we are today, and to how many of those students were non-traditional students. In other words, going for one class because they were 40 or 50 years old.
Okay. Well, we've taken all our time to discuss the Academic Enrichment Fund Campaign, and I do appreciate our guests showing up today. And this is Michael Dawes signing off for Cougar Paws.